Winners and losers of the 2022 NHL trade deadline. So I'm going to go over some winners, some losers, and then talk about some other teams that I feel like are maybe closer on one side or the other. Winners. Let's start off with the Montreal Canadiens. So you're talking about the big return they got for Tyler Toffoli, the massive return they got for Ben Sherratt, and then you see a couple moves they made today. They continue to get big returns. They get a Justin Barron and a second-round pick for Artturi Lehkonen, and they also get the return of a second-round pick and Legason from Edmonton. So Kulak and Lehkonen out for Montreal, and yeah, man, I think Montreal is the biggest winners. Right after that, I mean, you're seeing it right here. Marc-Andre Fleury to the Minnesota Wild. They also acquired over this period of time Tyson Jost, Nick Delorier, and then yeah, as I said, they made a couple moves today, starting with the Fleury move. It was also good to get a second-round pick for McBain, who they weren't going to re-sign anyways. Not re-sign, weren't going to be able to sign at all. And, yeah, I just look at the Minnesota Wild as big winners. I think when we talk about Bill Guerin kind of getting aggressive, being active, and then getting Fleury, being able to flip Kakinen, and getting Jacob Middleton, who also will be an important part to their potential playoff run. So I think the Wild will see how they do, but in terms of going kind of all in here, I really like their move. So the Habs, Wild, and as I'm making this video, in all honesty, like, we don't know what the full stuff is for the Ducks here, but I would say the Ducks and Penguins are both dubs for what they did. Like the Ducks being able to recoup all those assets for Josh Manson, Lindholm, and Raquel, and then also bringing in Dadonov, Aston Reese. So bringing in some guys to replace them, obviously a lot weaker, but I also just think Pittsburgh's a big dub for getting Raquel at that price. So when I look at the Pittsburgh Penguins and try to go all in for one more year with maybe some of these guys that might leave in the offseason, I think Pittsburgh's definitely a W here. In terms of like teams that I think didn't really do anything wrong, like I feel like they were positive. Like Calgary was positive in terms of getting Toffoli, in terms of getting Yarncrow. Yarncrow was definitely expensive, but they made it work. They got Ryan Carpenter as well. So I thought Calgary did well, for especially not even making the playoffs last year and what they've done this season. It's like putting trust in the guys you already have, but also, I mean, the Toffoli one's big, right? I think Chicago, to me, it's disappointing they didn't get more for Fleury or trade some of their other guys like DeHaan, Murphy, go down the list. Kubalik even, we'll see if that's an offseason move. But yeah, I mean, the Hagel trade saved them. That Hagel package was massive. I thought that Los Angeles Kings would do more, but the Setcher for a 7th round pick was solid. But the Winnipeg Jets are a massive winner for that return from Kopp. Ends up being a 2nd round pick that could change into a 1st round pick, another 2nd round pick, and Morgan Barron. So they get a prospect out of it too, and Barron is definitely intriguing. So the Jets are definitely winners. Flyers are somewhat losers. I mean, look at how disappointing of a year they've had. I look at the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think myself, a lot of people expected so much more for them, potentially even pushing for playoffs, and they're basically at the basement, and they got a 3rd and 4th round pick for Braun and Brassard and didn't do much else. I also thought the Nashville Predators, I mean, I just feel like trading a 2nd round pick for Lazon, I'm not going to call them full-out losers, but questionable. I like what the Sharks did. They didn't do anything crazy, but they got Kakinen in a 5th for Middleton. Solid. I thought the Capitals, I liked what the Capitals did. Didn't spend a lot and got Johansson, and I meant Johan Larsson for the Caps. So Johansson and Larsson, and then I think the teams like the Leafs and like Panthers and Lightning, they obviously got better. And I think the Leafs' value in their trades is solid. But I will say, like, the Leafs could have done something today, and obviously Sateri got claimed by the Coyotes, and I think there was maybe more, or maybe one more thing for Dubas to do. I feel like the Kraken, for how much they got back for their guys, I would say the Soucy addition could have been good, or the Soucy assets getting back could have been good. Oilers maybe could have done more. I don't think the Rangers, for me, are massive winners or losers. They gave a lot to get caught, but I liked the Mott and Braun deal a lot. Outside of that, I think just a lot of teams kind of stayed neutral or aren't necessarily winners or losers for me. So, pretty solid. And yeah, I think this was better than I think a lot of us expected in terms of the deadline, in terms of getting to the end. There was a lot of deals. The Central Registry got packed up. So, I didn't mind the deadline. I wish there was other moves, maybe like Kubalik, maybe Soucy, maybe one of the surprise moves that didn't happen, like a Garland or other big names that were floating around. But I I liked the deadline. So, and I appreciate everyone that joined the stream. So subscribe, like, and comment. Let's go, guys. Hit the notification bell. Interesting deadline, and comment your winners and losers.